Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday the 14th of February. So let's have a quick look at the news events due out this morning, or due out today I should say from the calendar. So where are we? Tuesday the 14th then. So the big thing here really is this afternoon, it's the inflation from the US. We've seen figures all over the place, and it's really looking for some sort of trend. What was the last number? Core inflation came out 0.3. Okay, so it had been coming through, but it's just to ensure that the inflation stays or is continuing to come off. Then it sort of relieves the US, potentially softens the US dollar. We've seen some mixed numbers coming out though, which suggests otherwise, and that there's this sort of, they're trying to remain quite hawkish in terms of their statements, so we'll see. Anyway, we've had also the employment data out this morning for the UK. That's already out. Let's just click that on there. So numbers, little bit average earnings coming off here. Bit of a surprise really, but anyway, there we are. That's the numbers for today. Mostly now just inflation on the bigger scheme of things. Let me just check in terms of speakers. There are some speakers, 2:30 through till 4 o'clock. A couple of Feds, 3 Feds, 1 ECB, so that's later today. That'll be post data. Whether or not they'll mention the data is another matter. Anyway, so let's have a look at the markets and where they're sitting at the moment. So there's the opportunities then. It's really quite, I'd say Groundhog Day. It seems like Groundhog Day in terms of what we're seeing here. It's consolidation sitting there, as I say, it's sitting there waiting for that inflation data. It's been going one way then the other way on the euro. Looking at this 4-hourly picture where we've hit the daily weekly yesterday, coming to the underside of the monthly or not far off of it. Looking at the shorter time frames then and coming down to the hourlies, well, which way? At the moment it's looking like it's going to roll back somewhat, but if it doesn't and manages to push back up, well, the R2 may be a reasonable possibility today. It really is horrible, and we're seeing the same with the pound here, just consolidation continuing through. Let me get rid of this line. It's in a right sort of pickle, really. Slowed down. We got a couple of, about 8 hours yesterday where it sort of pushed up there, which were really a crossover of 4 hours. But anyway, we saw that shove up there after it looking really sort of quite bearish, and now, well, it's not really hardly looking bullish either, and in fact in where they're sitting at the moment, they're in a bit of no man's land. Could go either way. If you're looking for easy clues, these markets today, they just aren't there for me. Now the US dollar yen, well, the yen struggled against the dollar here yesterday, and the dollar did particularly well coming up towards double top there. Sold off since then through the Asian session. No, it's not the Asian session at all. There's the Asian session. Continued through the Asian session there. Through its daily, is it just going to continue on through here? I'm sort of looking at the flaggish pattern, but it really needs to be above the daily pivot for me to be interested in that. It's probably got the most potential at this stage. Aussie dollar just coming out there. Aussie dollar again consolidated, same sort of picture that we're seeing across the rest of the markets. And this sort of, I keep on thinking that we're going to get the next bit of news is going to be the news. That's it. We're going to start getting back towards a trend. Well, we certainly aren't looking like we have any potential for a bit of a trend at the moment with these markets, and this is another one. It's just chopping along one way and then t'other. Makes it, as I say, pretty difficult to find anything. CAD no different, so all the way through there, the cross pairs, even the, sort of my favorite cross pairs, where the euro yen looks about the tidiest flag, and it is above its pivot here. That has scope, and it's probably the best choice of this morning at the moment to watch and see what happens there if it starts pushing up there. Other markets are as I say, they're just all looking pretty choppy. So dollar yen, euro yen, they're the ones that I've got my eye on at the moment. Right, if you can see anything else, I'd love to know. Morning in. Looking then at gold. Same old picture. It looks actually yesterday it just held down and closed down in the end, whereas the others all got choppy, the currencies all got choppy. But this is still relatively choppy and very difficult to really spot where it's going to go at the moment. We really do need to see the data out. So spot crude, Western Texas, if I get the right one it would be good. There we go. Western Texas, so it did put a new high in yesterday, near term high, but it came off again later on, so it's just really well, I say later on, it was really late on coming off there. It's sort of making a way up there, but it's struggling on its route, and it's sort of a bar or a couple of hours, and that's it, and then it's back to sort of consolidation at the moment, which sums up a lot of these markets. Looking at the equity markets then, and well, the CSI 300 still trying to do it. It's slow and ugly. The Nikkei, if I can get on there, expecting this to push up a little bit more. It gapped up and has since closed the gap and looking very bitty. Nifty 50, well, it's coming towards testing its trend line there, and this could signify the beginning of something here. We need a break of the trend line to confirm the move. S&Ps yesterday, well, stop start, but it's given us a bit of a pivot swing. I'm still sort of overall net bullish on those. The Dow, well, the Dow remains a real mess. It also has a bit of a pivot swing. We can start breaking. If we can get sort of lower inflation, would be a good thing for these equity markets later. Pivot swing there on the Nasdaq as well. So all of them showing some promise, and they've got some potential with the sort of flags to say there's really the Dow looking the messiest of them all at the moment. Coming back to Europe then, and the DAX, well, again it's still consolidating its range. You can come down the time frames here only to see where there seems to be something going on there, but it makes it look better. It flatters it when you look down at the lower time frame. There are opportunities for sure though. It's not as bad as it was back here, but it's catching a direction in terms of where it's going at the moment. FTSE, and finally the FTSE. So FTSE still trending up. It's the most bullish of all, but it's slowing where it is, but the trend is still pretty much the upside. So opportunities, retracements may be on the FTSE and shorter time frames, but it doesn't look like it's got much at the moment. So as I said, the only things I'm looking at the moment really is euro yen, maybe dollar yen as well. We'll see how they sort of set up this morning, but a thin old market out there. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Bye for now. There we go.